Hi chums. Right, so it looks like I've done nothing this last couple of days. There's been a lot of work going on, but it's not really timed work because this is me being me. But I want this to look really nice. So what I've done here is I've got two coats of sanding sealer on this. You see a wee tiny bump there, right? That's just sanding sealer. So, whoops. And like magic, it's away, right? So what I'm doing here is, remember I was telling you that whenever you put a finish on, the finish is going to magnify any defects in the wood. So what I'm doing here is I've got two coats of sanding sealer in this. What I'm doing is I'm looking for little tiny marks. Now you can't see them, but I can see them. And I'm having to hunt for them, because this is the second time I've done this. But it means the sanding. What the sanding sealer is doing is it's acting like a lens almost, and showing me anywhere that there's a wee tiny mark, and I'm just taking out. Some of the marks are actually little lines, little bright lines, where the sanding sealer has cured unevenly. Now I will be taking those out later because I'm going to re-sand it to take it back to put the next couple of coats on. But what I'm doing is you normally put one coat of sanding sealer on. Well, I'm putting three on this because I want it to be kind of hard on the outside a bit. Now, it's not like the resin where it's going to harden the outside and then it'll cause problems with equilibrium if the thing is trying to move. This will just act like it'll just toughen the outer layer a wee bit to make it less prone to getting damaged and dents and stuff, but it's not real hard. It'll take ordinary handling, put it that way. You'll still be able to put a dent in it, but it'll take ordinary handling, So that's it. I just want this to look really nice, So that's where we are at the moment. For the last 2 days, this is what I've been doing, and that's why there's been no video, because a 2-day video of this is like really boring. Like even with me in it, it's gonna be boring, So like that's just the way it is. Now you see that white stuff there? That's the sanding sealer coming off. It's basically shellac, and that they use in French polishing and stuff like that. So we're there. That's it. You're there now. So then what you do now is you get the airline, and then what I do is I blow this off with the airline. That's made sure there's no dust on the surface, and then I'm going to put the next coat of sanding sealer on. So there's my cloth, and the blue cloth. Look, the blue does not come off the cloth. Whatever you're told, I've been using this for years and years, and it doesn't come off the cloth. Now the next part of this is going. Now, look, there's a pool of sand. I'm going to stop that. I don't want to put this on like water. It's going to go on fairly thick. I don't want it to go on and pool and run down, because that's how you get little rivers, and then you get little sort of streams on the surface, So the next stage after this will be today. I'm going to do this here now, and then later on this evening I'll come back and put the third coat. There's 2 coats in this now. I'll put a third. This is the third coat. So then what I'll do is later on this evening, depending on how this works out, I'll put another coat on. Or I will start sanding with Yorkshire grit. It's a medium that is like a paste wax-based medium, and what it does is it acts as an abrasive. It's got very fine grit in it, and as you sand with this, as you rub it in, it breaks down, and then it breaks down. And as it breaks down, it makes a finer and finer paste. So you end up getting the sort of finish you get on a car, basically, where you're using sort of very fine abrasives to get a car, for the paint on a car, Now this looks pretty crap as you put it on, because it highlights wee holes, but then once it dries off even, it'll be dead on, So then we'll do the Yorkshire grit, and after that then we'll do the rest. You don't want to touch this. I don't want to touch it with my fingers because I'm scared of putting a wee mark on it, But we're nearly there. All I have to do is the neck's done. I've got the neck's finished now, and all I have to do is part it off here and make the plugs for the neck, and that will not take very long, So we'll get that done. But this is a critical part. They say you should spend as much time finishing as you do cutting. Well, I'm not going to spend like 25 hours finishing, but I'm going to have a good go at it, so it looks as good as it possibly can, you know. And with a wax finish, you want it to look nice. Now then, after the wax goes on, I leave it for, as I said, I leave it for about 3 days just to sit and cure up. And I'll bring it into the house where there's no dust. I'm not going to leave it to cure out here and all the dust will land on it, you know. Now what I'll do is I'll leave this now, and then I'll come out and I'll put a cover over it so that it doesn't get damaged. This plastic, this wooden box, or plastic wooden box, this cardboard box, that's all that's for, is just to catch the bits of sanding steel that go down. And then after that's done, what I've been doing is also between the coats, I've been sanding with this ultra fine Niweb, and that takes any wee high spots off the sanding sealer where it's dried unevenly, and I sand with that. And then once I've sanded with that, then I get in with the 400 and I, sand again to take any wee marks out. And then I sand again with this, and that'll bring it back to about 600, and then I'll put the wax on. No, do the other stuff. What do you call that? The stuff we talked about? The Yorkshire grit. I'll just show you what it looks like. Don't mind me. I'm just talk among yourselves. This is a brand new tin of it too. There it is. It's just like a waxy paste, and then you put that onto the wood and just rub it, and you hold the cloth in the wood until you can't feel any more grit, and that means it's done its job. And I'll take out any wee tiny swirly marks and stuff that you see in that. See, they're starting to throw up some stuff again. Wee tiny marks. There's a wee mark there, look. But I'll let it dry out and see what, maybe it's the sanding sealer doing that. So it'll be as good as I can get it, put it that way. And then we'll put the wax on and say let it sit. You don't polish the wax for a couple of hours, and then you polish it, and then you leave it for the 3 days. So I'll do that, and then we'll cut it off. And when I'm cutting it off, I'm going to cut it in there with the tool. I'll cut in there with the parting tool, and then I'll cut in most of the way, and then stop and use a saw. One of these here. Little's best. See those wee saws there? Anybody needs a wee saw for a quick job, those are brilliant. You get 2 blades with them too, a coarse one and a fine one. They're absolutely brilliant. And then what I'll do is I'll saw this up. I don't want to be stamping with this suddenly ending up over there somewhere, you know, because I have managed to throw it off the lathe. So I'll do that and I'll cut it. The other dangerous thing is when you're parting off, to make sure you're not holding up at this end, because once you break it here, everything happens up here, so you can end up damaging the neck. So I'll part it off. I'll take this away, and I'll put a really soft t-shirt or something around this and part it off, and then that's it. And then what I can do then is I've got a box, I've got a special box ready. I'm going to put it into the box and cover it up so that I can finish the bottom then. But you just use a drill, you know. I'm going to cover it up and make sure that the surface doesn't get damaged with dust and stuff, you know. I'm becoming a bit obsessive about this, but I just want it to be the best I can do, you know. So that's where we are, folks. So that's almost dry, but I'm going to leave it to cure now. There's a difference between being dry and being cured, you know. And I'll let it set up properly, and then we'll take it from there. Okay? All the best now. Bye-bye.